Hey guys, today we're exploring one of the most unique skate shops that you'll ever see. Future Skate, which is located in the St. Louis, Missouri area inside of an old Sears building. This place has it all. A full service skate shop, an indoor skate park with a half pipe, mini ramps and street obstacles, a vintage skateboard collection from the 60s through the 80s, and an eclectic mix of collectibles and curiosities. Hey guys, so we're inside Future Skate, the skate shop, and then we've got the Earthsurf Skatepark right behind us. But we're here with Don Earley, the owner. And Don, could you tell us a little bit of how you got into skateboarding and maybe a little bit of your background with the industry?
I started skateboarding in 1969. It was one of my presents, it was a birthday present in San Francisco. I was born and raised and got into skateboarding with the metal wheels. Started skating around the streets of San Francisco with our wheels, metal wheels, sparking it. At night, the wheels would be sparking, and so we just got the niche of it, and I got into skating from there on out and just been loyal to skateboarding most of my life. Met up with a bunch of skaters, and then in '76 we were in process of moving from California to Missouri right when they were building a park in San Mateo, actually Burlingame, called Rim Rider, and that's how I met Ray Flores and Tony Alva. Prior to that,
so you got to skate with those guys in the early days.
Yes.
That's crazy.
In '76. Yeah. So I've been here off and on since '86, rocking skateboard for the community.
That's so cool. Yeah.
And as most business people know, this isn't a business you make money.
Sure.
But it's your heart and soul what you make, and that's priceless to me for what you can get out of it. You know.
It's amazing. Okay, so Don, you have a full-service skate shop in here. You've got all of the new school boards, all of the newer wheels. You also have the old school and retro stuff. You've got cruisers. You even have a safety gear, scooters, and then the traditional, all of the shoes and shirts and gear. This place is awesome.
We're what they call the actual full-blown one-stop skate shop. Unlike other shops, they sell just what they call the popsicle skateboards because that's the thing that goes for the nowadays things. But I do the next step. I carry the old school boards for the old school skaters, as well as people like the old shape boards. And we also were the only ones to carry the long boards. We have contests every year. It's called the Buffalo Run, and we've been doing it for off and on through 7 years.
Nice.
For the downhill longboard contest, and it's for people who go 35 to 55 miles an hour on the average for those boards.
That's pretty awesome.
And so, the stuff we do is a little bit unique or different than a standard
I love that you
skate shop.
have just so much variety in here, and so much of the older guys, the people who watch my channel, we gravitate towards the older stuff over here. And you have quite a offering of the old school stuff. And you got some new shipments in here that you showed me the other day. Maybe we could take a quick peek. You've got some of the Bones Brigade Series 15.
We got all the new fresh, anything gets reissued, we pretty much are on top of the reissue stuff that comes out.
You've got the Hammerhead.
So these here are autographed. These particular ones are autographed by the actual writer. This is Jesse Martinez autograph, and they're numbered up to 100. There's only 100 of these ever made, and they're also numbered to match with the actual certificate.
This is
and the graphics on these. This is shaking hands,
Martinez.
And this is the red versions of the Jesse Martinez. So we did get quite a few of these in.
Yeah, I know
and
he's a
lucky
legend
one
out
here,
at Venice Beach.
This is the sweet one.
Oh, you got number one. You got number 2 as well.
Number 1, number 2,
and number 3.
And number 3 of 100. Because I've worked with this company for many years. They make one of our few decks that we have for our own shop. We have several decks for our own in-house boards. And we have famous artists that do our artwork for our shop decks. Last board was done by Jimbo Phillips.
Okay.
And a lot of people know of him. His dad's
son
Jim
of
Phillips, which done all the
classic Santa Cruz stuff.
Artwork. Yes.
That is amazing.
And this,
that would be an honor to have your skate shop deck done by Jimbo Phillips.
Yeah,
that's.
And here's Wes Humpston. which a lot of people are unaware of, which Wes Humpston is the one who did the original artwork for Dogtown.
Right, right.
Which, if it wasn't for the group of these guys here, was Wes Humpston, Jim Muir, starting the company called Dogtown, Santa Monica Airlines. They are the ones who put graphics on a skateboard. Tony Alva put the Awa. So when people go, Awa, Tony Alva, he'd walk away from him because they didn't know that his name is Tony Alva.
Right,
but the way he spelled it,
it looked like a W.
the Awa.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Wes came out with the wings and came out Dogtown with the cross. And skateboard, as we know it,
just blew up
is
from
history.
There. Yeah.
If it wasn't for that coming out, it would have came out.
So he's featured pretty prominently in Dogtown and Z-Boys, and
Absolutely.
I believe wasn't he just inducted in the Skateboarding Hall of Fame like 2 weeks ago or something?
That's what this is all about. He also did an induction of a board that's coming out. It's the Hall of Fame skateboard with all the names on it. He drew that up.
Sweet.
And those will be coming in this week. Yeah, so yeah, I like to do the old school stuff just for the guys that miss it.
Yep.
And they want to be part of having something. And most of these guys come in out of town and they know that I've been doing this for years and they want them as wall hangers.
So you've got a really sweet selection here of old school boards, and you guys are loading it, reloading it. You guys have been selling a lot of these and got to make room for a new shipment. So this is so cool.
And what's so unique about this, I mean, we even have some of the old school boards even inside here. We got these reissues here. This was from a famous skater there. There's Mike Smith.
Yeah.
Bill Danforth, autographed Bill Danforth.
Dang,
but we
man.
get this stuff in and out so much that they just stay in the box and just people come in and just pull them as we're trying to put them up there. They're pulling them up there. Yeah.
That's amazing. I know even some of I see the gold wings. Those are hard to come by.
Yeah,
these
that
days.
bottom row is a sweet spot.
Yeah.
That's not for sale. It's a for show.
So are these reproductions or some of these like
Those
old school?
OGs.
Like these are OGs.
OGs, yeah, because they're in the bag with the Gull Wings name on it and stuff like that.
Because I know they reproduced them a couple years ago, but these are from like the 80s or 90s.
Yeah, I found a hidden case at my storage.
Sweet.
I wish it was other trucks, but I'm glad it was those trucks. Better than any truck.
Well, my first real truck were Gull Wings. I have a board I got first just had like shop trucks or whatever. Yeah. And my first upgrade was Gull Wings. Could you show us maybe some of your skateboard collection of your vintage boards?
Certainly. Let's go look at some boards.
Yep. So obviously you've got a bunch of 60s and 70s boards here.
Yeah, this collection starts in the 50s. We got some early 50s boards that are over in here. This is where the 50s, 60s, where it all started with the clay, wood, and metal wheels.
So were any of these, maybe not the 50s, you said you started in 59. 60s. Were any of these like ones you rode?
Yeah, I rode the roller derbies. The roller derbies and the deluxes were my riders. Those were the ones I rode. I rode a couple of these down here, a couple of sidewalk surfers. Those were a couple of mine that I rode.
So then we move into 70s boards here, right?
Yes, this is in the mid 60s when the plastic era started in, because plastic was new to the world pretty much. People didn't see it go crazy as it did, and so all of a sudden here's plastic and acrylics, and it was a big thing in the 60s, 70s. And then fiberglass started coming into this scene, and this is one of the first Santa Cruz skateboards come out. The top black one is one of the rarest of the old Santa Cruz skateboards, and it has a little kicktail on it. And as you see, these all have just a standard name for their graphic, nothing really fancy or anything. Here's a Tunnel skateboard when I worked with Tunnel. Okay. This is Rick Blackheart's board. He's the one who did Ask the Doctor at Thrasher Magazine. That was his pro model board. Oh, wow. That's never been used, never been touched. That's OG, everything original on it as I got it.
It looks pristine, yeah.
And then the one below is another Tunnel skateboard. Those are all Tunnels. This is Mitch's own personal board. When he started working with laminates right before I left, it says Mitch's on it. It doesn't even say Tunnel at all. And that one I rode a lot into spillways and whatnot.
So you got the Hot Claw up there and the Lance Mountain.
Yeah, there's a
Mike
McGill. Very old Mike McGill there. Yeah. Here's some skateboard molds that I've worked and tinkered with. Concrete molds. Longboard molds. Here's a fun board to look at. Look at this one here. Wow.
What? Oh, they got the bonite separating.
The Mr. Bonite.
Yeah. So I have, my very first skateboard was a Vision Gator, and it's almost exactly the same. It was natural color.
Has the goalings like yours too.
Yeah, yeah.
You had goalings.
And I had the blue on the left and the green. This is a little bit more vibrant.
Okay.
Like my green was a little more subdued, but
yeah,
that was my first board, pretty much exactly there.
When they were mixing those colors, they would just squeeze a bottle of each color out.
Yeah.
And then as they kept pulling the screen, the colors would actually shift and mix. And so each person to get those same boards.
Yeah,
the
not
same
going to be
one.
exactly the same.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got some well-loved boards up here for sure. Mad Max, or not Mad Max, Max Headroom. So how did you end up with Lance Mountains?
At the VP Fair in 1987-ish, we worked something out and got those done.
That's amazing. And these Hobie gloves,
yeah,
those are
Hobie and Rectors. That's just some oldies. There's the old skateboard, whatever. I forgot the name of that company. They did those stickers and stuff.
amazing.
Dale Smith's where I used to work at Go Skate. I was working at this contest, and his son, come to find out, stole some wetsuits, and they blamed me for it. And upon that, I was taking these pictures, and in Thrasher magazine and all the other magazines, Trans World and stuff, there was only Grant Britton and a couple other guys doing theirs. In Thrasher, it was Mofo, KT, and maybe a couple others. This magazine here, I took this picture here of Tommy Guerrero, this picture of Gons and Roscop. And when they put the credits, they give these girls' names on it because of the fact Dale Smith thought I was the one that stole the money for and sold these wetsuits when I lived in Northern California at the time.
It's got collection of old rails.
Those are the Zorlax, Vision, Schmidt sticks. Yeah, these are Schmidt stick slide sticks.
Yeah.
They had a T-nut to put in there.
Yeah.
Those are extremely rare.
So all the decks up here, so these are reissues that you've decided, hey, I'm going to hold on to copies of these.
A lot of reissues and a lot of originals. There's
Okay.
a lot of mixtures of everything in there.
So you got to know.
Yeah.
Man, you have an amazing collection. I'm stoked to be making this video with you because people need to know. Like, I live like 20 minutes away. I had no idea that you had all that. Like, no clue.
Yeah.
Nobody told me.
Joe
I didn't know.
Lopes'
This is
boards
crazy.
that when he came to St. Louis, him and Neil Blender used to come to my shop and hang out and stay with me for a couple weeks at a time. And every time he came, he gave me a board and signed every board that he did.
With the mirror ball is a classic.
Yeah. And that Bryce Knights did that board for him. And it was during the VP Fair. Dave Duncan, Chris Miller, Kelly Rosecrans, Tony Alva, there's Neil Blender, Billy Ruff. There's just so many guys. And we also had skate camp in St. Louis at the same time too. So they were all coming out to the shop back and forth, and I was taking what they called these full pipes in Bloomington, Illinois. When they got bored during the weekend, they'd have a day off or something, we'd go take a tour and go up to the Bloomington full pipes. It was underneath the highway, these train got in a train wreck and all these pipes fell in collaboration. So yeah, I got a bunch of video footage of all that, and Mickey Alba and Chris Miller were the ones that just tore it up, the biggest and full pipes. So yeah, this is a Powell's collection. There's some rare ones. This bottom one, it's a longboard that they did the Dragon. That's a pretty rare one. And some of these you could tell that are some originals. Some of these hard to tell apart, but the Pear Willanders all up there are OG originals. The Tony Hawk at the very top is an OG originals. And then over here, all the cabs are all autographed. And then all the Hosois are all autographed. A lot of the Alvas are all autographed. And a lot of those are all OG originals over there. And then here's the Dogtown, West Humpston. A few of the West Humptons are autographed from West Humpston as well. And he did all the artwork through all the Dogtown stuff, the Dogtown era.
So Don, you were saying the skate park is broken up into 2 sections.
Yes.
This section has got a mini ramp, a micro ramp, a vert ramp, and then obstacles, and the other one's like more like street setup.
Yes.
Yeah, this is.
And we have graffiti, as you can see, throughout the whole area. We have graffiti artists that does different stuff through there for us. And this is a little micro mini that we put together for the kids to get used to. And just little mani pads and little tricks, parts, platforms.
Okay, so Don, I know that you have skate club on, is it Tuesday nights?
Tuesday nights from
and I know
6
there's
to 8.
a whole bunch of kids, like young kids who come up and they kind of get started, and it's kind of like a community. Like I was up here the other day and lots of young kids, like just getting started. And
yeah, there was about 12 kids last Tuesday.
That's amazing. And there's some like older ones who kind of give them some guidance and tips and stuff.
Yeah, we have kids from as young as 5 years old and as old as over 50 years old that we teach to skate every Tuesday from 6 to 8 o'clock. And we have a bunch of girls. This past few months it's been picking up. We have like 5-6 girls that are from 6 to 12 years old. And they're dropping in on this ramp right now.
It's amazing. Yeah. That's so cool. That's what... I mean, it's a bummer for you personally if you're not able to find a new spot. Like, that's going to stink.
Right.
But it's also going to be a bummer for the community because you have such a cool place for them to come check things out.
Yeah. And that's my heart and soul for the community. It's just, I don't want to miss it because this is what I do. This is my life.
Yeah.
And, you know, just the monetary factor, like I said, it's just not there. I ain't worried about it. I just want something for them to see what they can grow into them for themselves, and to see these kids and see what they do, not learning to push on a skateboard and within 2 months can do an ollie.
Yep.
And then life changes for them just for doing an ollie, knowing that they can pick themselves up from falling down. And that's the biggest step that people don't realize, that you got to fall down to get back up.
And learning, and like, don't give up.
Yeah, and it's a lot of things in life.
Yeah.
And if you just give up that simple fall on a skateboard beating you up, what else are you going to give up on in life? Give up in life. And this is a hard, quick learn to get by in life on other things when you just get up and try it again. And drive again, because you are yourself. You're your own coach, your discipliner, your gratifier, and everything when it comes to the skateboard. You don't have all these people around you all the time. You don't have a coach on you just yelling and screaming at you. You got to hit the ball this way, that way. This is you and yourself and maybe a couple buddies to enhance and drive yourselves to get better and better. And that's why I dig it. It's a good natural high in life that I see where these kids go and how they enhance themselves just off a little blank skateboard with 4 wheels.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
and see where they turn up in life. Like, I've been doing this for over 40 years. And seeing how many people have turned out in their lives and what they've done with their kids and what they have done to the community on other ways of life of what they've grown into. And it's just been a good thing.
I imagine you might have grandparents now bringing their grandkids up to get their first skateboard or whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Skateboarding is getting to the point where it's like 3 generations of still being able to enjoy it together.
To rock it together, absolutely. And some of the dads and grandpas, they don't get the trick boards, but they'll get an old 80s board like they used to skate and put cruiser wheels on it, or they'll get an old or a long board just so they can roll around.
Easy. They don't have to do the tricks.
Roll with the wind. Roll with the wind. And just so they can roll with the kid.
Yeah.
Or the grandkid. Awesome. And it just makes it that much more funner.
For sure.
Yeah. So here we have some unique stuff. A little bit of history of me. Here's me in 1980 in Folkestone, Georgia. I lived at a hotel that was filled up to about here with debris. And they gave me a deal. If I clean the pool, I can live there for free. So I had 6 months of a free swimming pool. And I had these 2 last units were my 2 units that they gave me to live in for free.
That's like every skateboarder's dream.
Yeah.
I get free
That's an old
rent
Dogtown
and free
board.
use of the pool.
Yeah, an old flyway helmet. People don't see those hardly anymore. and the rector pad. As soon as you hit the concrete, pads came right off. This was the pads back in the day.
Wow.
Compared to nowadays.
They've got like thin strips on the back, yeah.
Yeah. Took your blood circulation off. And there's some of Joe Lopes' stuff, barbecue at Joe Lopes'. Here's a very rare little piece right here of a guy named Christian Hosoi. There's him and Pops. So yeah, maybe down in the future we could show you some of the stuff. Here's the stuff that I did with brought Christian Hosoi, Per Waylander, and Joe Lopes out. This is the very first event that we did here in St. Louis.
Maybe 86, 87?
86.
86.
Yes. And there's Christian Hosoi, Joe Lopes, doing some autographing. So yeah, there they are at the front. Picture was taken by none other than Christian Hosoi. That other person that's there with his thumb is Mitch Sebastian. He would spin 15, 20, 360s at a time. And that's my dog Thrasher, everyone knew about. So yeah.
So you have quite a collection of photos and artifacts. So we're running out of time tonight, but maybe we could come back and sit down and you could
maybe
share some more stories with us. Yeah. Here
was a thing I did trying for an ad for Independent Magazine. So yeah, we do have some unique stuff, and maybe next time we can have some fun and people can see some of the history that I've done in the past, in the 80s with Thrasher Magazine and whatnot.
That's awesome.
Thank you for coming, and We'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, so thanks, Don, for showing us around.
Yes,
we really
indeed.
appreciate it.
Yes.
It's awesome. Dudes, you guys got to come check this place out. It's currently, we're in Chesterfield, Missouri, like maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes west of downtown St. Louis.
Yes.
Or so, in the old Chesterfield Mall.
We're in the old Sears lower level.
But yeah, guys, definitely check it out. I don't know where you're going to be next, but you're here for a while, so definitely
come check us out and come reminisce and talk the old times, or come and get some stuff. We have plenty for you guys. If you need it, let us know. We can always get it. There's not much stuff that I'm not able to get.
Right on. All right, so we'll definitely come back
and
visit with you a little bit more in another video. So stay tuned to that, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.